Oh god, this is already weird. Stolen potential, how do you do it? Hey guys, and welcome to Clique Theory. I know. This is just as weird for you as it is for me. I've never done a Clique Theory video on camera. I always do a voice recording and then badly put together like a slideshow of 21 Pilots pictures. But that takes a lot of work and time, and I don't feel like doing that. So we're gonna try this one out. We're gonna do a vlog style, which means that I couldn't just completely script it out, so I have notes. This is gonna be a mess. I just want you to know that this is gonna be a mess. Oh, also, yeah, I'm back. Kinda, a little bit, maybe, probably. This is the first time I've done a legit theory in a long time, and I missed it a lot. I genuinely I love making theories, and I love, sharing them with you. I love getting your feedback and hearing your theories, and I like this kind of communication we have. We just swap really ridiculous extra theories about a band together. It's fun. Today, I want to talk about a motif in 21 Pilots lyrics that gets referenced a lot, and I haven't really seen anyone talk about. We're talking about the driving motif, or Tyler's obsession with cars. There are a lot of 21 Pilots songs that reference driving, and a lot of 21 Pilots song titles that reference cars or ride. The first one that stood out to me was A Car, a Torch of Death. It explicitly references driving in a car in the song, and also the word car is in the name. So we covered all the bases. As I start the car, and then I begin to add the miles piled up behind me. Clearly Tyler is leaving something, some place, maybe home, maybe he's moving on from a certain part of his life into the next. In that case, all the miles piled up behind him would be past events, things, maybe the place he's leaving, memories or mistakes. And I begin to envy the headlights driving south. I want to crack the doors so I can just fall out. There's a lot in that one lyric. The first thing that stood out to me is that Tyler's jealous of whoever's driving back to where he just came from. He wants to go back there too. Maybe it was a good point of his life. Maybe it was home. Maybe he's leaving home for the first time and he misses it, and he's jealous of people that are going there. But the big thing that stood out to me was I want to crack the door so I can just fall out. A big thing that Tyler writes about in the context of the car motif is self-destructive behaviors. We see this in Car Radio with I Could Pull the Steering Wheel, or in Fake You Out, in the night headlights call my name. When talking about Car Radio, Tyler has previously stated that the pulling of the steering wheel is a self-destructive behavior that crosses his mind when the radio is off and he's got nothing to distract him from his thoughts. Something that he doesn't think he'd do, but it crosses his mind and he goes, where did that come from? So a line like, I want to crack the door so I can just fall out, seems similar and kind of hits the same where did that come from kind of line of thought. And then he says, but then I remember when you packed my car, you reached in the back and buckled up your heart. I think he's saying that his loved ones would clearly be devastated if something awful happened to him, and he doesn't want to put more worry on them and be a burden. He even compares their worry for him to a demon who creeps in their rooms and stays there for the night. From that, you could pretty much conclude that he has these self-destructive thoughts and urges, but he's not going to do anything about it because he loves his family too much. Then we do a complete 180 from A Car, a Torch of Death to Taxi Cab. If A Car, a Torch of Death was all about guilt and self-destructiveness and bad things, Taxi Cab is all about redemption. In the rap, he tells the story of a hearse, a literal hearse that breaks down, and three men who might be a reference to the Holy Trinity, given that this was a time period and when he was explicitly writing about religious content. You could even go as far as to say that his deadness could be a reference to being dead to your sins. But where a car to a death was guilt-ridden and kind of hopeless and sad, Taxi Cab offers hope. In Taxi Cab, he's offered redemption for his past mistakes or forgiveness for his sins. We're driving toward the morning sun where all your blood is washed away and all you did will be undone. It took me a while to learn that shoddy was slang for shotgun, so for a long time, the opening lyric of Holding On To You made no sense. But now that I have that context, it makes so much sense. I'm taking over my body, back in control, no more shoddy. I did a theory on Ride a while back in which I referenced this in contrast to Ride being very laid back and kind of giving up, whereas Holding On To You and taking over your body is a lot more taking control of your situation, grabbing the steering wheel and not yanking it into a ditch, but actually actively driving. In this, Tyler is taking control of his life rather than just kind of coasting and chilling. Remember the moment, you know exactly where you're going, because the next moment before you know it, time is slowing and it's frozen still, and the window still looks pretty nice, right? You think twice about your life. It probably happens at night, right? Fight it! Bad things can happen whether you're having a great mental health day or the worst mental health day. Life doesn't get any easier, but Tyler reminds us that we don't have to deal with all of it alone. I mean, the song is literally called Holding On To You. It's not hopeless. We have each other. We have this music. As some wise high schoolers once said, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Life is never easy, and sometimes those self-destructive thoughts and urges can be very loud, like in car radio. When the safety of music and sound to distract his thoughts disappear, those urges and thoughts can come back loud. I could pull the steering wheel. He could act on his self-destructive thoughts, but he doesn't. Instead, he urges us to think in order to stay alive, to take control of your thoughts and not let these instinctive urges that pop up every now and then to control you. He even says that to think is to be alive. It keeps you going, it keeps you focused, it keeps you in control. And when you don't have the strength to keep yourself in control, that's when you can reach out for help from others. In Lovely, he says, won't you stay alive? I'll take you on a ride. He'll take the wheel for you and drive along the highway of life. You can ask others for help when you're struggling. All throughout Lovely, he's trying to convince this person that they matter, that they're important, that they're strong and they can get through this. Sometimes we need help to get through hard times. Now, I'm not going to talk about any of the songs off of Blurryface because I feel like I've talked your ear off about those. I've done a whole Blurryface album theory and an entire video on Ride, so if you're interested in my thoughts on either of those, they're on my channel. I don't have that many videos. But I do want to talk about two specific music videos, namely Old Goner and Heavy Dirty Soul. Old Goner stood out to me because of the car tracks you can see in the snow, which I wouldn't think was purposeful if it wasn't for the fact that it was the only car tracks in the snow in a residential area, which doesn't make sense. And in Heavy Dirty Soul, it's even more explicit. He's in a car that starts falling apart, but only in his head? Which actually does make sense. It could be a play on the self-destructive behaviors that he thinks about all the time. I've seen a lot of people claim that the car tracks from Old Goner are from the car from Heavy Dirty Soul, which I don't personally buy. It makes sense, but I don't think it's as literal as that. I think they're just both nods to the driving motif. Like, it's not the same car, but it's the same Tyler. Probably. So what does this all mean? The only conclusion that I was able to come to about the driving motif overall is that Tyler's the car. What I mean by that is, life is a highway. In all seriousness, each song uses the motif in a different way, but the common thread there is that they compare driving to life. Those self-destructive urges and thoughts, those could be the bad times in your life. Times where you're depressed, anxious, struggling with your mental health. But Tyler says there's hope. To think is to be alive. We were gifted with thought. It's not easy to stay alive and keep driving, but it is possible, and Tyler's lyrics are a testament to that. But those are just my thoughts. So, what do you think? Are there any driving lyrics to songs that I didn't mention that you think are important? Do you have your own theory? Is there more to this motif? Let me know in the comments what you think. What are your theories? I love hearing what you guys come up with and the ideas that we bounce off each other. It's the most fun part of this channel. While the boys are on hiatus, I want to do more videos like this, you know, diving into old songs and common motifs, themes, metaphors that are used throughout the 21 Pilots discography. So if you have any ideas or suggestions for things in the 21 Pilots discography I should cover, leave them in the comments also, and I will do my best to research and come up with a good theory for you. Alright, you guys. Stay alive. Stay street. I'm so sorry.